Hey! Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Outsiders, The Hunt. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, Outsiders, The Hunt is a tad bit different from the previous Outsiders trade, in that with Outsiders The Deep, the Outsiders were kind of bringing the team back together, and they were going off and doing their own thing. Outsiders, The Hunt is a little bit more connected with the Batman universe. See, in Batman Battle for the Cowl, Arkham Asylum was blown up, and all of its inmates are kind of running amok. Some of them under the control of Black Mask, some of them just kind of doing their own thing. However, you can't leave these villains out there causing all this trouble, this tomfoolery, these shenanigans that they cause. If you call it decapitating and ripping people apart and stealing money shenanigans, but anyways. And it's a little too much for just Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne to deal with on their own as Batman and Robin. So Alfred orders the Outsiders to go and capture these evildoers, these rogues of Batman, and bring them back into the new Arkham Asylum. Among these villains are Clayface, Man-Bat, Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze. So these are pretty heavy hitters in the Batman rogue gallery. And it's up to the Outsiders to bring them back. So the Outsiders as a team split up to take these bad guys out. You got Geoforce and Metamorpho going after Clayface, which seems appropriate. You have Black Lightning and Owlman go up against Mr. Freeze. And then you have Katana, Halo, and Creeper take out Killer Croc. Well, Man-Bat makes a special appearance during that fight. So, will the Outsiders be successful in bringing in these evildoers? Or will things get a little mixed up with the Blackest Night coming in? Because the second half of the story follows into the Blackest Night. And you get to see what happens when Terra, the sister of Geoforce, former Titan member, makes a little visit, being a Black Lightning herself, wishing to be killed once again because she doesn't want to be the monster that she became. But can we trust Terra? She's always been kind of a little fibber. So, I don't know if I can trust her. Do you think you can? And, will everyone come out of this alive? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. So with that said, let's get into the good, the bad, whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, I like the fact that they are the Outsiders going out after these Batman villains. You know, Killer Croc, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, you know, even Man-Bat. In recent years, they haven't got the credit that they deserve. They haven't got the exposure that they deserve. I mean, in the past 10 years, it's been mostly Joker, Two-Face, Hush, Ra's al Ghul, you know, all these other Batman villains. And, you know, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Clayface, Man-Bat, they've kind of been pushed aside. It's good to see them in action. I love these villains. I really do. Now, I like the fact the Outsiders are going up against them. It's a fun read, and there's good fighting in this. And the dialogue is pretty good. I feel as though the dialogue is better in the second half of the story, dealing with the Blackest Night, than it is in the first half. The first half of the story is more of an action kind of based story, where the second story, the Blackest Night story, is a little bit more drama, especially with Geoforce and his sister. Also, with Katana and her family apparently coming back to life, which is kind of cool to see Killer Croc go up against those Black Lanterns. But anyways, I felt as though it was okay writing. The second half was better writing. The action was good in this too. I liked the fight scenes. It was pretty good. I particularly liked the Mr. Freeze part. I don't know why. Maybe it was just Owlman's little tricks he has, but the Mr. Freeze one was pretty good, and the Killer Croc was pretty good too. So, the action was good. Enjoyable. And the Outsiders felt true to form. Definitely felt true to form. And although they're dealing with some of the Batman universe, it doesn't feel as though they're stepping away from the status quo of this comic, in that Black Ops do what needs to be done. They're that team. Downside, well, it's kind of short. I felt as though they could have at least done 2 or 3 more issues just going up against these villains. I mean, these are big-time villains from the Batman universe. Granted, they haven't been used for a long time, but you can do more than just an issue or so with Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, or Clayface. Have some nefarious plot go on with them, along with having to round them up. has to decipher a bond that Mr. Freeze has made, or maybe have to track Killer Croc through a Black Lantern-infested area, or, I don't know, get Clayface out of the toilet. Something. You could have done more with this, and I really would have liked to see more issues, because this was fun. It was fun. But there should have been more issues, really more exposure of these villains, who haven't really had exposure in a long time. Something happens at the end of this with the Blackest Night story, to a team member. When you read it, you'll find out what. I really don't see why they did that. It wasn't really necessary, but they did it, and I didn't care for it. I don't want to reveal what it is because I don't want to spoil what it is. But you'll read and you'll see, and you'll be like, oh, really? Let's just say someone uses their powers in an interesting way to get rid of the Black Lantern. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, another downside to this is after this, the Outsiders comic kind of takes a break. It kind of just stops. It restarted back up. There's actually a new Outsiders trade coming out, but it kind of just stops, and it feels as though they kind of leave you hanging. Just leave you hanging, and it wasn't really that great. In addition to that, the stories, although they were kind of cool, nothing spectacular, nothing we haven't seen before. So whether or not you should get it. Well, I'm going to be honest with you right now. I like this stuff. I had fun. But this comic is definitely more fun than it is good. It doesn't go out of its way to be anything spectacular. It doesn't impress you in any way. Be like, oh my god, that's great right there. That just impressed me. It's more fun than anything. If you're low on money, then I probably would recommend not picking this up. However, if you have a little extra cash in your hand, you want to see these old Batman villains go up against the Outsiders, if you're a fan of those villains, if you're a fan of the Outsiders, then yeah, pick it up. It's fun. That's what it is. It's fun. And I think you'll enjoy it if you're an Outsiders fan or if you're a fan of those villains. So, it's really more or less up to you, but you guys kind of get the idea. It has its up, it has its down. Really depends on how much money you have, or how much you love these villains in the Outsiders. So, with that said, use your discretion. I enjoyed it, but that doesn't mean you will. So, maybe you should actually flip through the pages to see if you like it. With that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.